Hey everyone, welcome back to Couch Conversations with Sasha Love. I'm your host, Sasha Love, and today we're gonna have a conversation about growing pains. Before we dive into that, I want to put in another plug for my podcast, Couch Conversations with Sasha Love, available on Spotify and Anchor, and I'll have a link in the description below that'll take you to the podcast on Spotify. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
Pop your melanin, girlfriend. Pop your melanin. Pop your melanin, girlfriend. Pop your melanin. Girl, you black, and you beautiful. Girl, you black, and you beautiful.
Growing pains. This is an idea that some of us may have heard when we were either in puberty or the pre-puberty stage. And in this point in our lives, we were growing really fast and we had some bone pain and discomfort associated with it. While a lot of us may not be in puberty anymore, and thankfully so, we still do experience growing pains, but in a slightly different way. Growing pains can show up in our journey of healing, of growth, of progression, whenever we attempt to do something different than how we used to in the past. For example, starting a new habit, making some changes in how we eat, changing our friendship circle, changing how we talk to ourselves. Any habit, any new activity, any new behavior we're trying to implement on our journey of growth may feel uncomfortable. And that discomfort can sometimes make us feel that, whoa, wait a minute, we're moving in the wrong direction. We're not doing something that's good, that's right. And that kind of makes sense because our bodies and our experiences have shaped us to kind of believe that. For example, when something is hurting us, when we have some knee pain, some back pain, chest pain, we know those are reasons to go to the doctor because something is wrong. Something is hurting us. Something's uncomfortable. It's causing us discomfort. So we need to get it fixed. We need to figure out what's happening, what's going wrong. Likewise, emotionally, when we've gone through traumas, pains, past experiences, those are hard experiences and they make us feel very uncomfortable with a lot of difficult emotions to process and go through. Also, whenever you're doing something new, creating boundaries, distancing yourself from people who hurt you, changing your perspective on life, or anything, no matter how small or how big you decide to change, it's going to feel uncomfortable. And at first, it may be difficult to remind yourself that this kind of discomfort is okay, and differentiate that with the other discomfort in your past that was not okay. So you may be wondering, so how do you tell the difference? Because sometimes when I feel bad, when I feel something makes me uncomfortable, that's my warning sign that something is wrong. But yet, here we are, and we're having a conversation, and I'm saying that sometimes discomfort is just an indication that you're doing something different. So how can you tell the difference? Well, one of the things that we can do to tell the difference is to check in with ourselves. Do we feel safe? Is this something that we are voluntarily choosing to do? And why are we choosing to do this? Or why do we think we feel this way? If it's something intentional, if it's something that we're doing for our sense of safety and well-being, if this is an intentional behavior or action or habit that we've created, that we're doing, then maybe this is just a growing pain. The opposite of that, if you feel uncomfortable, if you feel like your safety is in danger, if you feel violated or hurt in some way, that is more of an indication of something wrong, something that needs to be addressed. And typically, those emotions are much stronger and deeper. So let me give you an example. One of my growing points in life is setting boundaries. So sometimes when I'm setting boundaries, it feels a little uncomfortable. And dare I say, even a little bit guilty, because that wasn't how I was before. And I feel guilty because I'm coming from a place where I had a hard time maintaining boundaries. I just allowed people to take up space however they chose without setting parameters of what was okay and what wasn't. So now when I'm intentional about setting those boundaries, it feels uncomfortable. And if I'm being honest, sometimes it feels like I'm being distant to the person. Sometimes it feels like I am being standoffish. Sometimes I feel like I'm being mean. Even when I'm expressing myself in a kind and open and a considerate way. Does that mean that me setting boundaries is inappropriate? Is wrong? No, not necessarily. In fact, it's healthy to set boundaries. But at the same time, I also need to make sure that I'm intentional about why. Am I setting reactive boundaries, as in I'm setting boundaries just because, as a punishment against someone, or to avoid having a discussion or avoid having a confrontation with someone? Or am I intentionally setting a structured boundary that I've thought about, that I've considered, that I've internalized as being important for me, and I'm just trying to implement that? So throughout this journey of healing and growth, the changes that we make may sometimes feel uncomfortable. But if we're patient with ourselves, offer ourselves grace, and take some time to reflect and look within in these changes that we're making, it can help us get through those uncomfortable emotions and feelings, and get to the point where we're receiving the benefit of staying committed to those changes, of staying committed to a workout schedule, of staying committed to maintaining your boundaries to give you a sense of peace, of staying committed to eating healthy, to feel as if you have more energy, that you enjoy life more, staying consistent with your prayer life, choosing to stay connected with people who are excited to have you in their lives. The benefits and the fruits of our good choices and our healthier habits are amazing. But sometimes, in order to get there, we have to be willing to navigate through those growing pains. So what do you think? What are your thoughts about this? What are your questions? Do you have your own approach to handling growing pains? I'd love to hear them, either at my email or through my handle on social media on Instagram, both in the description. And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe so more people can know about it. And also share it with anyone you know who will find it helpful. It's always a pleasure having you. Stick through those growing pains, become the best version of you. And until next time, take care.